Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving right into a fascinating story today, one that actually holds a really clever, hidden secret about how real wealth is made. It's a classic tale called A Bottle of Dew, and honestly, by the time we finish, you might completely rethink what it means to make magic happen in your own life. So, let's get into it.
Okay, let's lay out our lesson plan real quick. We're going to start with the myth of magic, then check out the Sage's Dew recipe, and uncover the real golden secret hidden inside it. After the story, we'll test our brains with some vocabulary and comprehension, and then wrap it all up with a bit of fun with grammar.
Section 1. The Myth of Magic.
So our story kicks off with a guy named Rama Natha. Now, he was the son of a very rich landlord, and he inherited all this beautiful, fertile land. But he didn't care about farming at all. Instead, he was completely obsessed with finding a magic potion. And just as a quick reminder, a potion is a liquid with magical properties. Rama Natha believed, with absolute certainty, that he could find a potion that would instantly turn any ordinary object into solid gold. He spent all his time and his money trying to find it, and unfortunately, he kept getting cheated by people making fake promises.
Naturally, while Rama Natha was out chasing this mythical magic, his wife, Madhumati, was seeing reality. She was watching their inherited wealth literally disappear into thin air. She got incredibly tired of this endless search and, as you can probably guess, she was deeply worried that they were going to end up with absolutely no money at all.
Section 2. The Sage's Dew Recipe. Well, one day, a famous, wise, holy man named Sage Mahipati comes to town. Rama Natha rushes right up to him, practically begging for the secret to the magic potion. And amazingly, the sage doesn't turn him away. Instead, he gives him these exact instructions. He says, you have to plant a banana plant and water it regularly with your hands. In winter, the morning dew is on the leaves. The sage actually claimed that if Rama Natha brought him 5 liters of this specific dew, he'd chant some magic words over it and create the golden potion.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the sheer scale of the task the sage assigned him. Think about it. Rama Natha had to plant the trees himself, water them by hand, then collect tiny little drops of winter morning dew until he gathered 5 whole liters of it. He quickly realized he couldn't just plant one tree. He'd have to plant an entire, massive banana plantation to get that much dew.
And do you know how long this impossible-sounding task actually took him? 6 whole years. Since winter only lasts for a few months out of the year, Rama Natha was out there doing back-breaking work in his fields for 6 years, meticulously collecting the dewdrop by tiny drop just to fill up that 5-liter bottle.
Section 3. The Real Golden Secret. All right, so after 6 years of endless digging, planting, watering, and collecting, Rama Natha finally brings his full 5-liter bottle to Sage Mahipati. The sage smiles, mutters some magic words over the water, and hands it right back. The suspense is real here. Rama Natha carefully sprinkles the enchanted dew onto a copper vessel, holds his breath, waits for it to turn into glittering gold, and absolutely nothing happens. It just gets wet. He is completely shocked.
So, the crucial point is, this is exactly where the sage reveals his brilliant trick. Rama Natha truly believed magic created wealth, but the sage points out at the massive, flourishing fields and tells him, while you looked after the trees, your wife sold the fruits in the market. That's how you got this money. The sage had actually tricked him into doing the hard work necessary to build a hugely profitable banana plantation. Hard work was the real magic all along.
Section 4. Vocabulary and Comprehension.
What a fantastic lesson, right? Okay, let's shift gears for a minute and review what we've learned to make sure we've really got these concepts locked in. First, let's review a critical vocabulary word, dew. Dew refers to the small drops of water on leaves that form during the night. I mean, think about how incredibly tiny a single drop of dew actually is. Now imagine trying to collect 5 whole liters of it. It makes total sense why it took Rama Natha 6 years.
Now, I want you to think about this comprehension question for a second. Why did the sage ask Rama Natha to do everything himself? Like, why insist that Rama Natha plant the trees and water them with his own hands? Well, the answer is that the sage knew if Rama Natha just hired someone else to do the heavy lifting, he would never learn the value of hard labor. He wouldn't actually be the one creating the wealth.
Let's quickly walk through these true or false statements to ensure we really understand what drove our characters. First up, Madhumati was troubled about what her husband did. That is definitely true. She was terrified watching their wealth vanish. Second, Rama Natha was very happy digging his fields. Actually, that is false. He wasn't out there for the joy of farming. He was just desperate for that magic potion. And third, the sage wanted to show the right path to Rama Natha. That is absolutely true. He used a really clever trick to teach a lifelong lesson.
Section 5. Fun with grammar.
Okay, now for some grammar fun. Let's decode some foundational grammar rules using some examples inspired by our story. First, we have exclamatory sentences. These are all about expressing a strong feeling, like surprise, joy, or maybe even anger, and they always end with an exclamation mark, like, wow, what an intelligent man he is. Then, on the flip side, we have interrogative sentences. These simply ask questions, and they always end with a question mark. For example, what is your favorite story? And this brilliantly illustrates how your actual voice and tone change completely when you read them out loud. Next up, let's see how this builds our understanding of verbs. We're looking at the present continuous tense. We use this tense to describe actions that are happening right now, exactly at the time of speaking. The formula is super simple. You just take a helper verb like am, are, or is, add your main verb, and stick ing right on the end. So, I am feeling sleepy, or you are looking at the screen, or he is trying to learn. It literally means it's happening right in this moment.
You guys have done such an awesome job following along today, so I wanted to share a really fun, real-world fact from our textbook's writing exercise. Did you know there is an actual banana called the blue Java banana? Seriously. And because of its unbelievable texture, people actually call it the ice cream banana. It has this really distinct blue skin before it ripens, it tastes super creamy, just like vanilla ice cream, and the plants can grow up to 15 or 20 feet tall in places like Southeast Asia and Hawaii. How crazy is that? We have covered so much great stuff in this explainer today. So just to recap real quick, Rama Natha learned that dew doesn't make gold, hard work makes real wealth. Plus, we figured out how to spot exclamatory and interrogative sentences. Before we go, I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. If hard work is the real magic, what golden results can you create in your own life today? Thank you so much for exploring this with me. Keep working hard, and I'll catch you next time.